Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the king of all budget rounds, M80. This ammo is fired out of a variety of different weapons like the Vepr Hunter, the SR25, the SA58, and the MDR762 variant, to name a few. We're going to talk about what stats makes this ammo so good, how it holds up against certain levels of armor, and what kind of guns you should be running with it. As always, if this video ends up helping you out, consider giving it a like. It really does help my channel grow, and it introduces new people to my videos all the time. So thank you if you do. Let's jump into it. So as long as you have level 2 Peacekeeper, you can get M80 rounds for just $3 a piece. That's equivalent to 375 rubles a piece. And every refresh, you can get 200 rounds of this ammo, which makes it dirt cheap and highly accessible for many players. So before we jump into armor test, I do want to show some ammo comparisons. This chart was found on eft.monster. I never really used this site previously, but once I found it, I thought they had a nice visual representation to compare ammo of similar value or similar caliber. And so you can see on the right hand side is the armor class, and the left side is the penetration value of the round. And at the bottom from left to right is the amount of damage the round does to flesh. So if you compare all the 7.62 by 51mm variants, you can see M80 is right dead center in the middle of all of them. It has a very good penetration rate of 41, meaning it's going to go past level 4 armor with ease, and it should be very effective against level 5 armor. And with 80 damage, this is the highest damaging assault rifle round with still having penetration above level 4 armor. So if you compare M80 to other sniper rounds like 7.62 by 54mm that goes in the Mosin and the SVD, you can see that the stats are very similar, except with M80 you have the option of going full auto by using the SA58 at 700 RPM or the MDR762 variant at 650 RPM. So both very effective. On top of that, there's also a lot of marksman rifles and assault carbines that you have the option to run the M80 with. So you don't actually have to use the SA58 or the MDR to still be effective with this round. Whereas with the 7.62 by 54mm, you only have the option of bolt action or SVD, which is not very customizable and you can't really get the recoil that low. So let's go ahead and jump into some armor testing. I'm going to be using my second account with my wife's computer, and we're going to see how many shots it takes to kill PMCs with certain armors on. I'm going to let this play out and we're going to talk about it after. The results are quite surprising. So first we tested the level 3 Karasa. It starts with 70 armor points, and we shot 2 M80 shots into the chest. That killed the PMC, leaving the armor at 45.6. Next we have the level 4 Trooper. This armor starts with 85 armor points, and it took 2 M80 shots to kill the PMC, leaving the Trooper at 63.1 armor points. And honestly, this is why the M80 is so strong. A lot of people are still running level 4 armor at this point in the wipe, myself included. I run the TB110 when I'm in reserve, and I also use the Trooper armor as well. So the M80 is going to have no trouble taking out people with level 4 armor, which is the majority of players right now. But that's not where the effectiveness stops. Next, we have the level 5 armor. It's the 6B13 Killa armor. It starts with 60 armor points, and after 3 M80 shots, it killed the PMC, leaving the armor at 29.6. Previously, this took 4 shots to get through a Killa armor, but now, with the armor throughput damage being buffed recently by BSG, it now takes 1 less round to get through level 5 armor, which is absolutely insane. Oh my gosh, that just blows my mind because people spend $250,000 for this Killa armor and you're taking it out with 3 little budget rounds. It's insane. Sorry, I'm getting amped up about this, but it's pretty exciting stuff and I don't know if it's really fair, but I'm excited for it. And lastly, we have the level 6 Slick armor. It starts with 80 armor points, and it took 6 M80 shots to finally kill the PMC, leaving the armor at 1.4, basically almost zeroing the armor out, meaning it was very effective at stopping the round. I think these results alone show how effective the M80 round is. For being $3 a round, you're able to take out level 5 armor with ease, and level 6, well, level 6 you're going to have trouble with anyway, but luckily most people won't be running that. I won't be testing helmets or visors today, but you should be able to one-tap most helmets and visors up to level 4. Once you get to Altons and above, you are going to have some trouble and you might have to 2-tap them. And that's not even counting deflections on any of these, so you have to keep that in mind when shooting helmets. So let's go ahead and jump into some guns that you can use M80 with. I'm not going to list all of them here today, but I wanted to show you a few different options and some of my personal favorites. So for the assault carbines, we have the Vepr Hunter that you can get on the market for 18K and the RFB that you can get on the market for 35K. From an early level, you can get the RFB from Peacekeeper, but it's going to cost you about 60K to get. Both of these guns have very few customization options, meaning you can't get the recoil as low as some of the marksman rifles or the assault rifles, but they are a very nice budget option, and you could do some tinkering with it to make them perform a little bit better. Next, we have the marksman rifles, which is the SR25 and the M1A. The base price of the SR25 is 60K, which seems like a lot, but you don't have to do too much to it to make it perform pretty well. But as for the M1A, it's 40K from the market, and you need to change a lot to make this gun perform well. It has very high recoil, and you're gonna need to change out the stock, the muzzle, the barrel, the sights, everything. It is a very expensive gun. You're gonna be paying over 200K to get that good performance. So I don't think it's really worth it early wipe, so maybe consider running it when you just want to spend some money or you want to experiment with different guns. And last but not least, we have the assault rifles. My personal favorites and what I use mostly with the M80 rounds. Some say it's a waste of money to be running M80 with these assault rifles, but in my opinion, it's the best guns to be running them with. Being able to land multiple shots of M80 at high fire rates of 650 and 700, you are going to be tearing people apart. Of course, M61 and M62 are going to be more effective, but you're going to spend thousands more per round. My all-time favorite gun is the SA58, aka the Juice Cannon. This gun has been nerfed to the ground, unfortunately. It has a very low ergo, and even when you build it out to its meta capabilities, it's still gonna be very low ergo. So you can get the recoil down to the 80s, and I believe the upper 70s with the RK2 grip, but that's gonna drop the ergo even more. So if you're somebody who is really bothered by slow ADS times, this gun's not gonna be the gun for you. But if you want to consider trying it, as you can see, the base price is 30K, but that's going to be for a half damaged scav gun, and the vendor options are way overpriced. So I would look somewhere in the market in the 60s range, and then you'll find undamaged versions of the gun, and you can experiment with different builds from there. As for the 7.62 MDR, it's about 80K on the market right now, and you don't have to do hardly anything to make it a meta version. All you need to do is add a muzzle device, a grip, and a sight, and you're good to go. So overall, I would suggest the MDR over the SA58, but if you want to try the SA58, it's definitely worth a try. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you guys end up using M80 and how you like it. I really love this round, and I love the SA58 and the MDR. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.